Yo, was back with another video. Today we're going to be looking over somebody's gameplay, and that'll be that. Now, I'm not actually on my account for some reason. At the moment, my account every time I try to get on this video, it signs me out of my account. So I'm watching it on no account. So it'd be like that. So hopefully I don't get copyright striked. I'm gonna put everything in the description, the person's channel, all that good stuff, because usually I have a good feeling about getting copyright striked. Good old fashioned. We'll see what happens, I guess. So this is gonna be the review, the first one that I've done. I think I've done. I might have done one in the past. I don't really know. We have a lot of stuff going on here. I'm not gonna lie. We have yeah, see, I can't stand when the bars are like that. Um, so far it doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens. So it looks like you're running disarm versus arms, windwalker. I don't really like how that's set up either, but because I don't know if you can see their cooldowns or whatever. So what you're gonna do is usually what I do is I'd run in sap and you can either cheap shot the Windwalker and cheap shot the Warrior if they're close enough. Otherwise, you're just gonna sap and then you're going to cheap shot the Windwalker. Off your sap, you're going to blind or you can try to resap. We'll see what happens though. So usually you run in, sap the healer, stun the Windwalker. That's pretty much your go. And then off the Windwalker, you can either swap to the Warrior or just keep going Windwalker and kind of just PV him down. We'll see what happens though. So it looks like we go in, we stealth, so pretty much exactly what you're supposed to do. So Sap's the healer. At this point, we need to cheap shot the Windwalker. Okay, so that's nice. So we want to resap the healer, or we want to blind off the sap right about now. So once that's at 1 second, we want to blind. So we should have already blinded. Because at this point, now he's going to get out of CC by the time you can resap him or do anything. He gets a really good Shadowy Duel. So that Shadowy Duel is really good. Because it was right as the sap was about to end, so not bad. So Shadowy Duels, perfect. Yeah, yeah, I'd say that's good. Obviously, at a higher rated Windwalker, like they're gonna use cooldowns, but otherwise, even if they do, exactly what you want to do. That was perfect. Yeah, usually if they don't use cooldowns correctly, they'll just get restun and they'll die. So here we're gonna be facing a Wrestler Shaman Ret and a Arms Warrior. So here we're gonna go the Ret Paladin all the way. We'll see what happens. So we're going to run in there, do the same thing. Sap the Shaman, open on the Ret, and then off the sap, we can either resap 1 second before it ends. We could blind, or we could kidney. We'll see what happens though. So it looks like, boom, get a good stab. Now we want to step either the Warrior, because obviously this Ret's going to go around the corner, and you're not going to be able to reach him. So you could do a step on the Warrior and then a step on the Ret, or you could just run to him with Sprint. Since you already have Sprint, we'll see what happens. Perfect. See, the thing is, we go warrior. The problem with going warrior is, the only time this guy's gonna die is if it's a bad warrior. Now, I can already tell this warrior's probably gonna die in the opener because he's almost behind LOS and he's not in D stance versus a Brogue. So let's see if he dies in a shadowy duel. So we cheap shot. He's probably gonna duel here. So cheap shots, and yeah, it looks like he does. So he gets 100 ob. Uh, Literally their shaman is, I don't even know where their shaman is. Let's see. I think he's still back in the starting room. Yeah. Okay, so kind of what I expected. Usually that wouldn't happen. So the shaman still hasn't even got there. He's literally in his wolf form. This must be low rated. We'll have to see at the end, but honestly, you're playing pretty good, to be honest. So here, I'm guessing that he's gonna go Windwalker. Here you want to go Ret. So when you get to a high rated, that's not going to happen. The odds of you doing what you're doing right now is like a low rated strat, and it's not going to work when you want to, like, versus anybody good, that strategy is not going to work. And if you seem like you're losing, it's because you're going the wrong target. So here we should be going full Ret, and then we want to go Windwalker, maybe whenever he doesn't have Trinket. But the Ret's going to have so much to peel the Windwalker, it's not even worth. He's going to have literally Sack, Sank, He's gonna have bop, lay on hands, and when you go the ret, you're not allowing him to do anything. After his trinket, all he has left is bubble. This guy has all of his cooldowns, and then you have to go through like 4 cooldowns just from this guy. So going ret is just the better choice. Obviously, this Windwalker seems to not be that good, so you could just do the Shadowy Dual Strap, but that's only gonna work so many times. So here we sap the healer. So a good sap. At this point, we should have went ret, but it looks like we're going Windwalker. But it's good that you're both on the same target always. So here we open. So at this point, it's 1 second. This is where we want to be positioned to where we can re-CC him. As you can see, your priest is going to CC, but he's going to be late. So this guy's going to be, he's either going to earthen or he's going to use something by the time you guys get CC. As you can see, he's going to start running. We get a really good stun right there, so really nice. So it looks like he did actually go bad. I think he gets sanked, or I don't know what happened there. I can't really tell by your. You really need to like clean this up, is what you need to do. Like because I can't see if they trinket it or not or nothing. So, you really need to like go through this, and I would like, because this is like big overlapping. Like I actually, I think I see it here, with your DRs, I think. So at this point, as you can see, he's already almost dead. So he was paying attention so much to CCing and stunning that he didn't even realize his own HP. So the moment this guy clicks wings, so the moment your go's done, get ready to click cooldowns because you'll see what happens here. So it looks like something popped up to where they're clicking cooldowns. At this point, we can disarm the ret. So the moment he clicks wings, disarm. So he clicks wings right now. We need to disarm him immediately. And if you're not going to disarm, then immediately evasion. So it looks like here he actually ends up almost dying. We still haven't used disarm. It looks like we trinket vanish. The problem with that is we still haven't disarmed. So this guy's just going to swap to your warrior and get a lot of cooldowns. Or he's just going to keep pumping. So we still haven't disarmed. So definitely want to disarm immediately. At this point, we still got to wait 6 seconds on the good old fast stun. All you're going to want to do after your first go, you want to kidney shot the healer and then cheap shot the ret. And that's pretty much your go. Now you can also double stun too. If these guys are always stacking like this, all you can do is kidney shot the healer, stun, so double stun, and then go ret. Or go the main target, whoever you're going. That's only if they're stacked. Don't go out of your way to run across the map to cheap shot somebody else. If they're not together, don't even bother. So we'll see what happens here. So our setup is going to be, we're going to kidney shot the healer, we're going to blind the healer, and then we're going to vanish, and we're going to sap the healer. That's our goal. So the DR is starting to come off. We'll see what happens here. So here we're setting up our combo points. It looks like we see, this is what I tell everybody. If you're playing a sub rogue, tell everybody, say, let me do the stunning. At least if you say something, then it's different. Because these people at low rated, they're not even going to know. So you need to tell them, yo, let me stun. Because sub rogue requires you to have CC with your stun. So this stun is relevant because there's no CC on the healer. So here he just clicks earthen and he's perfectly fine. So at this point, when all DRs are off, what we need to be doing is kidney shot. And the fact that he's this close now is you're not going to be able to blind, you're not going to be able to sap. So you're just going to kidney shot for CC, and then you're just going to keep doing damage. So here, we'll see what happens here. We have evasion, so we still haven't used evasion, which is really bad, because this guy's using serenity. Anytime people start using burst, you need to click evasion. So yeah, definitely defensive wise, we haven't used disarm yet, and we haven't used evasion. We got to make sure we focus that. Evasion needs to be used above 70% minimum. When they're clicking CDs, all it takes for them is a DR stun, and you can die in a stun. So this guy was almost dead already. We can disarm the ret. We can evasion. This guy's popping serenity. Does this guy have wings up? I can't really tell. It looks like he does have wings up, and we haven't disarmed him yet. So we kidney shot the shaman, and then we go shaman. I don't know how I feel. And this is the reason you go ret and not Windwalker. Obviously, Windwalker is going to be a lot easier to kill in a shadowy duel, but you got to look at it as a long game duration. So you need to be going ret. Always go ret. Almost 90% of the time versus any melee team, if there's a ret on the team, you're going to be going ret. So at this point, we can't even kidney this guy, and if we blind, we're not going to be able to sap. So our only goal right now is to either blind the shaman and then kidney shot the ret, or because we can't go Windwalker. And that's a problem with the warrior stunning, because now everything's DR'd, and sub rogue needs setups to do anything. So now we're in trouble. We don't have evasion. We have disarm, which we haven't used yet, so we need to make sure we're using that. It's a prime cooldown to counter this ret completely. At this point, our only option is to blind and then cheap shot the ret and just keep PvPing just keep doing damage to the Windwalker. We can even DR stun if we have to, because it looks like he's popping Serenity, so we need to do something. Because we're gonna be taking a lot of damage, and we're pretty much out of CDs. We have Guardian. Actually, no, we don't even have Guardian, so we're in trouble. So it looks like we're almost dead already. We need to disarm the ret. We still haven't disarmed him, but it looks like the DRs are coming off. So we gouge here. Okay, that's not terrible. We still have Vanish as well. So it looks like the kidney's coming off. So our next go needs to look like this. Listen, when you have blind and you're not using it in the, if you don't, usually you want to use blind in the opener, but with the next time you have blind, how you're going to be setting up is you're going to use kidney shot on the healer, and then you're going to blind 1 second before your kidney shot ends, and then 1 second before the blind ends, you're going to use one of those vanishes, and you're going to sap this guy, and that's how you're going to blind. So our goal is going to be once this is off DR, we're going to run up to this guy, kidney shot him, we're going to stun the DPS, so we're going to kidney shot, stun this guy, start doing damage to the main target, and then we are going to blind the shaman 1 second before the before it ends. It looks like we could have step kicked this guy, so I'd look out for those. Obviously, it's not the end of the world, I don't think, but here you're taking a lot of damage. At this point, we need to disarm immediately. So that was a lot of damage. And it looks like he DR'd stunned him again. So this is just it's not good. It's not looking good. And this is the problem with going the wrong target because the ret's been off DR for so long that we've literally just been standing there and our team hasn't been doing anything. While they're doing 130k DBS, we're all sitting here doing nothing. So here we get a really good fear. This is where we stun the Windwalker and we smoke bomb him and we do as much damage as possible. So stun, smoke bomb, swap. Okay, so it looks like, did we get Trinket right there? So, or did he? Oh, okay. Whoa. We DR blind. Okay, that's a big problem. Did he Tremor the Fear? So we DR stun. What was it? I can't tell if that's DR blind. I thought he feared. Okay, so yeah, he set the full fear. He gets feared into them, which is unfortunate positioning. He actually gets feared into the bomb. So if it I didn't even notice that that was a shaman that got feared into the bomb. I've never seen that before. So anytime you have smoke bomb, don't use it while the healer is in your smoke bomb. It looks like you used it, and I don't think you realized it either. He actually gets feared into your bomb, which is like a complete outplay. Your own teammate outplayed him because he feared him this way and you bombed him. So by the time you bomb, the shaman's already in your bomb. There's no point in using bomb. Smoke bomb is to stop the healer from casting. The problem is when your shaman's in the smoke bomb with you, that's not going to do much. So we get a good setup here. Not terrible. The problem is we use blind on top of it. We actually DR blinded, I'm pretty sure. Which is again, you just want to use the blind, like how I said. You want to kidney shot the healer, blind, and then you want to sab. That's how you use that the second go. Like if you're not using it in the very opener, that's how you use blind. So we get swap, we get everything here. Okay, so our next setup go, 6 seconds. We have a setup. All we're gonna do is we're gonna kidney shot, and we can either just keep doing damage to the Windwalker, or we can stun the ret, maybe go him. Again, you're not gonna be sitting on one target the entire game. You need to hit whatever you can hit that's stunned. You'll never usually sit on the same target 100% of the game, especially when you have a warrior that can just do damage to everybody. So we have Vanish still. At this point, our Shadow Dance needs to come up. So use Vanish offensively. You'll have your Shadow Dance reset, and then you need to go. So we have 3 seconds before the DR ends. We need to Vanish here. So we need to reset our stuff, and we're about to die. So we need to use. We still haven't used our disarm. I've noticed that. So nice. We click Vanish. At this point, we want to open, get combo points, kidney shot, cheap shot the ret. Make sure you cheap shot the ret immediately. The problem is, again, the warrior stuns. So at this point, we just need to cheap shot the healer or do something to where we stop the healer from healing. We're at like 19% damp, so we're not, and the game's pretty much just started. So here we'll see what happens. We cheap shot again. We go shaman. there's no point in doing that. That's not gonna help you at all. Now we're the ones in trouble. Since your warrior's stunning, the game is pretty much over for you guys. I don't know if this healer's gonna heal it. Yeah, no. So yeah, that was again, make sure as a sub rogue you tell your people, be like, yo, let me do the stunning, and usually they won't stun. Or at least they'll try not to. This guy literally stunned like at the worst times, and then also we didn't use disarm and we didn't use our blind like in solo shuffle, your main goal is to use your blind in the opener. 99% of the time, you should be using your blind in the opener no matter what. Because it's solo shuffle. The game's only going to last a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes max. But usually, those games are not being any longer than that, especially with a comp like this. So, yeah, very unfortunate. Okay, so Ret Warrior. At this point, we want to go Ret. Again, always go Ret. So at this point, we'll see what happens. So hopefully we go Ret here. Okay, so we're running disarm. So we can either one, disarm the warrior on his CDs, or two, disarm the ret on his CDs. We have to disarm off CD whenever they're clicking cooldowns. So to be fair, that wasn't just on the warrior. I think, see, and this is another point. I think what you realize is, in your mind, you're like, oh, we're just gonna shadowy duel kill the warrior. If you have that mindset, you're not gonna get too far. Because once you face people that just use their cooldowns, sub rogue will never kill somebody through cooldowns. So the moment they use their buttons, you're not gonna kill them. And I'm guessing you don't kill him in the opener, or you might kill him in the opener. We'll see what happens. Again, Sub Rogue is so basic, and it's the same thing every time. So good sap. It looks like you both decided to go Warrior, so okay. Looks like we get Trinket. Again, this is what I mean. Um, the moment they use CDs, now this is somebody who understands what happened the last round, and now that you're gonna have trouble, and I'm guessing you lose this round because of that. So at this point, we've gotten cooldown, so that's the good news. Now the bad news is we can either blind the healer or we can wait till the next duration, because guess what, if we blind the healer we can't stun the warrior. So whenever you CC the healer, you want to make sure you can stun the main target. What's the point of CCing the healer when you don't have a stun on the main target? There's no point. So hopefully, I'm hoping we don't CC the healer right now. Now obviously, the shadowy duel, once they use cooldowns, don't even bother shadowy dueling, just save it. You can either save it defensively, you can either, there's a lot of things that you can do. We still have disarm as well. Look, this guy is avataring. What we could do is we could backstep him, and since he has Dab of the Swords, we could backstep him into it. You can actually disarm him from the back. It looks like his Dab of the Swords is off too, so we could just disarm him here. So this guy still has 12 seconds of rally. This is on his burst. We need to be disarming something. We'll see what happens. So we get stunned. We still haven't disarmed. These guys are both bursting right now, so we need to disarm. We can't disarm the warrior right now because he's blade storming. We could disarm the red. We'll see. Okay. Okay, so one of these guys have to get disarmed. This is a full wings and this is a full avatar. And this is burst here. We have to disarm something. We still have evasion as well. You cannot expect your healer to out heal this much damage. It's not possible. So the moment we're already too far low to evasion, so we still have to use evasion. Otherwise, this guy's gonna have to use a lot of cooldowns. He's gonna have to use earthen. He's gonna have to use a bunch of cooldowns just to be able to top you up. And we'll see what happens here. So we still have disarm, we still have evasion. At this point, this is off DR. So what we need to do, keep your common points at 100% uptime. So once you have a slice and dice up, all you're doing is keep all these common points up and get ready for the DR to come off. At this point, we're ready to do a setup here. We're ready to kidney shot the healer and then stun the two targets here, or at least kidney shot the healer, and then you can stun the warrior at least. At this rating, I doubt they even use Sank. Now, if he does Sank the healer, then we just instantly blind. Blind doesn't affect, or Sank doesn't affect blind in any way, shape, or form. Neither does it do sap. So you can still do your setup the same way you were doing it. So we want to get our comm points, kidney shot the healer. We could step cheap shot the ret, and then we can cheap shot the warrior on top of that. It's triple CC. Otherwise, we're just gonna kidney shot the healer, stun the warrior. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we smoke bomb the warrior without CCing anything, and we didn't stun the main target. So, again, as a sub rogue, we have blind, we have disarm, we have evasion, we have a lot of cooldowns, and I think I'm pretty sure we're having trouble um realize, because you're playing like an assassination rogue. If you were assass, this wouldn't be that bad. Because assassination, you can kind of just PvE, but as sub rogue, you have to CC. Just think of it this way: if you don't have something stunned, there's no point in doing anything because you can't do anything. You have to have a stun. So let's see what happens. So we still have disarm. We could disarm the warrior. Honestly, just use. I'd rather you use disarm off CD than not use it at all. So at this point, we need to get our comm points. Boom. So we got our comm points ready. Wait for the angel form to come off. Kidney shot the priest. Cheap shot the ret. Cheap shot the warrior. Go the warrior because that's the main target. It looks like you two are going. We'll see what happens. It looks like we have evasion. So again, our CD usage. Once we get below if we get below 60% HP and the healer CC'd or you're just taking a lot of damage, just click evasion. So at this point, we need to get our column points ready. It looks like we slice nice. That's okay. We get a good end cap from our teammate there, which is not really the best because we need a blind. And this is the problem I'm seeing. Is our CC is not very good. So what we could have done is we could have ran over to the healer, kidney shot the healer, and then blinded him off the kidney, and then we could have just kept doing damage. It's better than not doing. You have to CC the healer to win. As a sub rogue, you're not gonna outdam people. Your goal is to CC them enough to where they can't heal their teammate, and then you kill their teammate. And it looks like you said go ret, but now you're going, or you said go warrior, but now you're going ret back here. And I don't even know where your windwalker is. I don't know where he is actually. Okay, it looks like he's right. No, I can't even tell. I think this is the windwalker actually. So it looks like we're going red now because we realized, oh, it's not working. At this point, they're bursting again. Disarm the red. Boom. We could also evasion. We still have evasion. Again, we're so low. The fact that we haven't used cloak or evasion yet is astonishing. So here, kidney shot the healer, and then we go the healer. Yeah, no. Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Never go Holy Priest ever. Not one time in Solo Shuffle will you ever go Holy Priest. The only situation where you ever go Holy Priest is if they swap and they're super low HP to where you can literally just kill them in a stun. This, however, is never gonna work. It's not gonna work. Now, what you could have done is you could have kidney shot the healer, and then we could have. This is off in 1 second. So by the time you kidney this guy, you could have ran over this guy, stunned this guy, and then we could have blinded off your kidney. So this will be the time where you would blind off your kidney. Instead, we're on the priest, which is not good. So now we're in trouble. Now what we could do is, again, we have our blind up. It's off DR, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is off DR. So we could kidney shot, or we could blind the healer, and then we can literally stun the warrior and kill him right now. He's 50% HP, and it looks like this guy doesn't even have a trinket. So all we have to do right now is blind the healer, cheap shot the warrior, win the game. We could even double stun. To get more cooldowns or even have a more chance of killing, we blind the healer, cheap shot the ret, cheap shot the warrior, win the game. That's how we win right now. So we need to use our blind. It looks like we get disarmed here. So again, get our common points ready, and then all we have to do is either we can honestly just vanish, blind this guy, double cheap shot these guys, and literally win the game. Unfortunately, he's healing him back up because there's no CC on the healer. And we haven't used blind the entire game, which is the worst possible situation for us. Now we're so low. Again, we haven't used evasion. Evasion is a cooldown you use when you get below 70% and they're using cooldowns or you're taking too much damage, you click evasion always, every time. We still have cloak. We have so many. I think we're relying off our healers' cooldowns too much. We need to use our own cooldowns first, and then our healers use their cooldowns. A healer should never have to use their cooldowns before their DPS. So just think of it this way. Unless you're playing at a high rated gameplay and the people know what they're doing, usually they expect you to use your CDs first. So here we have every CD and we're kind of just relying off my guy's one cooldown. Once this cooldown's done, you guys lose. Meanwhile, you have every single cooldown. So what happens to the Windwalker whenever he uses Spirit Link? Now you have every CD, but now they have nothing. And it looks like we still have yet to use. So we're literally taking unhealable damage, and we haven't clicked a single button. We haven't used evasion or cloak. We haven't even vanished. We haven't it looks like we don't even have disarm. Again, we're 5%. We're literally just taking unhealable damage, and I'm surprised he's even keeping you up. The fact that these healers are playing very good, I'm curious to see what rating we're at. So at this point, everything's off the R again. We have common points. Every time, you're always kidney shotting the healer, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. Every time this is off the R, after the first go, use your kidney shot on the healer 100% of the time usually. So at this point, we have common points, run over to the healer, kidney shot him, and then we're going to double stun the DBS, and then we're going to go whoever the main target is. After the kidney shot, we're just going to throw blind at the healer. After the blind, 1 second before it ends, have a duration in your head. Whenever you have blind on a target, you're literally going to save a vanish for blind, and then you're going to vanish away, wait the 1 second. You can literally just sit there and wait right before blind ends and sap him. Now that's even that is a high skill gameplay. You don't even have to do that. Literally run over this guy, kidney shot him, and blind him 1 second before it ends. Don't even worry about sapping. You can literally run over and gouge him if you want. But we need to do something. If we don't CC, we're gonna lose the game. We have 0 CDs. He has Spirit Link. We still and now we click evasion. Um, it's a little late to use it, but at least you used it. And you're also facing your back away. So when you evasion, make sure you're facing towards your enemies, because they can hit you. Like if he were to hit you right here, he can actually hit you. Evasion is 100% if they're not behind you. They can actually hit you when they're like back here. Just to give you a heads up. So at this point, he's at 50%. All we need to do is go CC this guy, and we win the game instantaneously. He has no trinket, and this guy has no trinket. And this guy has no trinket. And we have blind. So what we need to do is we have full kidney points. All we need to do is sprint, go across, kidney shot, run over. We can either double cheap shot or just cheap shot DR the warrior, and you win the game. We have secret technique. We're ready to go. Okay, nice. He gets a good end cap. He's actually soloing the warrior right now. We could literally kidney shot the healer and win the game right now, I'm telling you. Oh my, no. We DR cheap shot the warrior, ladies and gentlemen. That actually, I was not thinking about that. Okay. It's still not the end of the world. It looks like we get a double stun. It's triple DR on the warrior, but at least we get a full stun on the red. Now, at this point, we could run over and blind the healer. This guy still has no trinket, so we could temporarily kill this guy. If we get a DR hex, okay. At least they're trying. They're trying. I respect it. Okay, at this point, we're in trouble. We need to disarm immediately, and then we need a cloak. Okay, it looks like we vanished. That works too. So this has been off DR for the longest time. So what we need to do is cheap shot, kidney shot, blind, anything. We have to have CC on this guy. I'm sorry for pausing, but even if this is a longer video, perfect. We finally stunned the healer. I'm telling you, it literally can give you a win. Obviously, it's triple DR'd on the warrior, but it doesn't even matter. It just doesn't. Let's see what happens here. Okay, nice. We get swap. We also, it looks like, I don't know if we got trinket there. I'm pretty sure we got trinket there too. So we just got trinket from literally a cheap shot. Now, what we could do is we could blind the healer because it's off DR still. And this guy's off DR. So what we could literally do right now is we could just throw blind at the healer, shadow dance, cheap shot, and just do damage to the warrior. This guy's going to be off DR in 1 second. So he's off DR. Boom. Blind the healer. And then stun these guys, do damage. We have blades, we have the win, we have Shadow Duel soon as well. We're gonna be in trouble soon, so we have cloak still, and we have disarm. I just used disarm like this guy's avatar right now. I would anytime they're clicking their main CDs, instant disarm. So again, we could blind this guy, we can go up to him and gouge him. Really, we just need a blind. We could vanish blind, we have to use blind. We could also disarm the ret. It's sad to see because the priest has no trinket. The warrior still doesn't have trinket. This guy has 40% HP and we have blades. All we need to do right now, so it looks like we get an incap. If we just blind off this or go up to him and kidney him, and like just any type of CC right now, and we might have a chance to kill. Cheap shot. We need a blind. It looks like we shadow duel and we probably kill him here. Hmm. Oh, it's sad to see it. It really is. Now, okay, listen, there's only one time the shadowy duel. when your healer is not CC'd, that's when you want to Shadowy Duel. Shadowy Duel is used to stop the healer from healing. When the healer's already CC'd, there's no point in doing that. Now, if we just blind the healer and we you two both hit this guy with blades, he's gonna die 100%. Your guy's gonna die here. So it looks like you Shadowy Duel just for the offensive kill. But it looks like we mess up our rotation. Or we just don't do enough damage. Yeah, no. So we still have blind. Do we blind? Oh my. We alright. Okay, so again, we use blind. The first blind and by the way, if you use blind at the start of the game, I guarantee you probably would have had 2 or 3 of these blinds during the game. So at this point, we blind the healer. This guy's at 60%. Again, smoke bomb is only to be used when you have a stun on a target and the healer is away from the smoke bomb. So obviously, I think he misclicked it, but it's whatever. So here we finally click blind. Obviously, if we stun, it's going to be DR'd, so there's no point in doing that. We could have waited also for the DR to end. It looks like we get a good stun here. He angel forms. We could stun the ret even. I mean, this guy's triple DR. This guy's no DRs. We have disarm. We could disarm him. He has wings up. We should 100% disarm. Now, when this guy angel forms, listen, when you face a holy priest like this, when they click this angel form, use your smoke bomb on the target that they're going, and he won't be able to heal them because he's going to be, unless he cancels his own angel, he can't actually heal them. So what you can do is, when you're facing a holy priest, make sure you save your smoke bomb for when they go in this form, and then you kinny or you cheap shot the main target, and then you bomb him, and this healer literally has to sit there in his angel form, and the guy would die. So here we get a good grip by our Restless Shaman. We could gouge him here, so the gouge is off DR. So this is where we would gouge. Because we can't Kenny. At this point, we're in trouble. This guy has no swap. It looks like you're 100% dead. We have Cloak. Okay, good Cloak. We also have Evasion. Don't forget about that. That's a major cooldown. We also have Disarm for the ret. He has wings up right now. Now he bubbles. We can disarm the warrior since we didn't disarm. Okay, again, at this point in time, Kenny shot the healer. Cheap shot the warrior. Boom. Everything's off DR for stun-wise. We'll see what happens. Kenny shot the healer. Okay, nice. We get an in cap. We gouge the warrior. Okay. It's really bad that we're running there. This is the game. This is where we win or lose. 60% damp. 68% damp. At this point, we need to stun everything. We need to stop them from doing damage on our Windwalker and kill them. It looks like we lose the game 100%. Unless we kill here. Did we kill here? Problem is, we don't have CC on the healer. If we just have CC on the healer, we win the game here. Look how much damage we're doing, and you literally he went from 40 to 20%, and the healer's not CC'd. So imagine if this guy was CC'd, this guy would have been dead. He might die still. Yeah, he dies still. So they literally get a DR Hex, the game-winning DR Hex, and we win the game. So I hope that you understand what I'm saying, and I'm actually making this video for this guy, because obviously I haven't really done these, and you'll see when you watch the video that you're probably going to see it a lot clearer. It's very simple, but again, it's not simple when you haven't gone through it. So it looks like we're switching out Shadowy Duel. I don't know how I feel about that. I hope you don't do that. Oh, wait. Who? Okay. Switching out Disarm versus an Arm Warrior is really bad for us. Because when this guy's bursting, stopping his burst, all Arms Warrior is when they pop every CD, all you do is stop their CC. Or like there's cooldown. So what we do is we disarm him, and that's how we stop it. Now versus this comp, we want to go Windwalker. We'll see who we go. Windwalker is going to be easier to kill than a Warrior. Always run Disarm versus a Warrior, and always disarm Warrior when he starts bursting. Now we don't have Disarm, which is kind of bad for us. Okay, good. We got Monk. We want to run in, sap the healer. Somebody's clicking the bell. So run in, sap the healer, cheap shot. We could even cheap shot the warrior. So now that this guy's karma'd and he's trinketed, there's no chance our burst is going to do any relevant to him. Now what we're going to want to do is off this sap, we're going to blind the shaman, and then we're going to cheap shot the warrior, and now we're going to use our blades, and we still have all of our cooldowns up. We want to swap to the warrior. Listen, when somebody clicks their major defensives, don't keep going on that target. It's really bad. it's not good. Even if you can instantly cloak it, so like even if you can do this, there's no point of doing that because they're just gonna like I just don't think it's worth. Now obviously this is low rated, so this guy's probably not gonna click cooldown. So he still hasn't walled. Now he finally uses dampen. He's gonna have to use more than that. Yep. Okay, wall's late. Okay, okay, that works too. Okay, we actually get a setup here. Perfect. So we get trinket from this guy. Now, again, we could have stunned the warrior. We probably would have got his trinket. And, you know, you got to play like a team effort. If you do everything yourself, it's not going to work. But as a sub rogue, you're the CC bot. Look at yourself like this. Off your burst, you're CCing everybody. That's your goal. That's it. You're not a damage bot, you're a CC bot. So at this point, we have blind still. We have evasion, it looks like. So we need to, okay, we vanish, that's fine. So we do not blind here, it's DR on everything. I don't know if this is a stun DR, I can't really tell. Okay, we kick. We get our combo points. At this point, we can't stun this guy, and we can't blind because he's on top of him. Okay, so these guys are both stunnable. Now what we're going to do is we have blind, so the moment this is off DR, we're going to blind the healer and then stun the Windwalker and stun the warrior. Again, when they're both stacked like this, the reason we stun both targets is so that the warrior can't intervene the Windwalker and save him. He can't peel you either. So at this point, we want to blind the healer when the DR is off, stun both these guys, and just keep doing damage. Even if he earthen. So the healer had a really good earthen. Even if it's earthen, I'd go through it. I'm not even kidding. Because they're going to run out of their earthen here soon. So here he's going for the Hex. Looks like he's going to fear. So healer's going to be CC'd, it looks like. It's a DR'd. I don't know. I can't tell why it's DR'd. I didn't really see why. Again, we still haven't stunned the targets. So, as a rogue, you have to stun off DR. Your goal as a sub rogue is to stun off DR. So the moment the stun's off on both these targets, or not even both, just the main target, just stun them. And the reason we use gouge is you can use gouge as a source of CC. So this guy's not CC, like you can literally run up to this guy and full gouge him for 4 or 5 seconds and then stun these guys. That works for CC as well. Any sort of CC that stops them from doing stuff, especially when it's a 4-second CC, is great. All you need is 4 seconds, and you might just get trinkets, you might get cooldowns. It's worth it, I'm telling you. So we kidney shot. The problem is, we don't have CC on the healer. If you ever stun the main target without a CC on the healer, you'll see what happens. He's just going to get topped off. So look, it looks like we're doing a lot of damage. The shaman's literally just sitting here. And this guy's back to full. So that was we wasted an entire shadow dance. And now this guy's bursting us. So we need to vanish immediately. We are in a bad spot right now. This guy has no cooldowns. And you don't have cooldowns. At this point, our only hope is to immediately vanish. We're at 30%. This guy's popping Serenity. We have to vanish right now or we're going to die. Unless Cheat Death saves us. Boom. So it's exactly how I said. So I'm hoping that you see what I'm talking about. And you can actually, like, you know, get better from it. But there's definitely things that we can work on. Versus this comp, all you're going to be doing, again, is go ret. So, and we go monk. In the future, when you face a ret, go ret paladin, and you'll see the difference. Once you get these guys bubble, they die insanely fast. So it might be like, oh, well, he's just going to bubble, or he's just going to trinket wall. I'm telling you, this guy will die a lot quicker than the Windwalker. If this Windwalker doesn't die in the opener, he's going to live longer than this Ret Paladin would. I'm telling you, it's the truth. Even though Windwalkers feel like they die immediately, we have an Arms Warrior that can sit on the Ret Paladin, and he doesn't have to he can go through everything. He doesn't have to deal with Fist of Fury. The Ret Paladin, he's going to have to play super defensively. We're going to force him back. So, go Ret Paladin. It looks like we're going Windwalker, so it is what it is. So what we want to do here is run up, sap the Priest. We can stun the Ret Paladin, and then stun the Windwalker. Obviously, if these guys aren't connected together, don't even bother going out of your way. Just go for your stuns and do big damn. And then off your sap, blind in the opener, always. I'm telling you, it's worth it. And then listen, if this guy uses cooldowns, like let's say he overuses cooldowns. Let's say he trinket walls, karmas. The moment you click blades, swap to the ret paladin, stun him, and go him. Never stay on the same target that's already used cooldowns. Your goal is to get cooldowns, not that's what you're trying to do. So here we sap, good sap. So at this point we can double cheap shot. So we cheap shot the Windwalker. We could even usually what I do is I'll cheap shot the ret first. So as you can see, he actually pre-walled. So if you were to go ret, he had a really good pre-wall. He could have pre-sacked the guy here, but this is why we stun this guy. Because if this guy was good, he could actually sink the Windwalker and it would ruin your entire go. So what we do there is we sap, we cheap shot the ret first, and then we cheap shot the Windwalker. That way we have all 3 CC, nobody's interfering with your go. So as you can see, the ret's already starting to burst on you. At this point, we need to blind the priest. So 1 second left, blind the priest. Yeah, see, now he's out of CC. Now all of our damage is going to be worthless. Now he has Guardian, he's going to get topped in 1 heal. Good fear. Beautiful fear. Oh, unfortunately... Okay, so again, never go the healer. Don't do this. What we want to do is, instead of going this guy, we want to go the ret. If you're going to swap targets, go the ret paladin. Now, usually, there's no reason to swap, I don't think. Actually, no, he karma'd, so it was a good swap. Just don't swap this guy, swap the ret. That's all you need to do. Because this guy's off DR. We can actually Shadow Dance and stun him. Instead of stunning the priest, we can actually just stun this guy. This guy was already full feared. So, you guys had perfect CC. We had triple CC here. So, all we need to do is go this guy with a stun, and there we go. Instead, we break the entire 6-second duration of our CC, which is really unfortunate. Because guess what? Off that fear, what we could have done is, again, you want to use your kidney shot for the healer. So what we could have done is, off the fear, we could actually ran over kidney shot the priest and then swap back to the Windwalker with a full 5-second kidney shot after the 5-second fear, which would have been an insane amount of CC. Unfortunately, we break it. So, yeah, never go the healer. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. So this guy's wingsing. We need to... And, okay, we're not running disarm again. Again, not running disarm versus these type of melees is the worst case scenario. Because now this guy's getting a full duration of wings as a ret paladin. Yeah, it's not going to be good. Okay, so it looks like we're running here. We got calm points, so what we can do is, in 5 seconds... we can run over and kidney shot the healer, and then we can stun the Windwalker. And then, if the ret's still on top of you while you're running after them, we can also stun the ret too. Okay, if you look at your positioning, your healer is way back here. So your healer is way over there. Always stay in the line of your healer so he can heal you. Look where you're running. So now you're running away from your healer, and he's actually just going to kill you. So you're running... Look where your healer is. So, your healer is way over here, and you just ran all the way across the map. And look at your healer. He's still trying to chase. He doesn't even know where you are on the map. So, I'd say, listen, if you're gonna kite to your, like, don't kite to on top of your healer, but always be in the, your healer should always be able to heal you. Don't run around a pillar like you're doing now. It's really bad. Because now, look, the healer, your healer's over here somewhere. I think he literally ran around the pillar after you. Now you have 2 DBSs back here. The problem is we had a really good kidney back here. The healer's over here. He can't actually heal him, which is actually really good. You turn a bad position into a good position because they ran behind a pillar. This one never happened in a real game, by the way. They'd swap targets. Nobody chases anymore. So here, we get a really good swap. Good swap. Perfect. I'd say that was perfect. You turn a bad positioning into, good positioning for you guys. So at this point, we get a good stun on the priest. What we could do off that is we could blind him. It looks like it's going to break. So at this point, there's no point of CCing this guy. It's just going to break. So nice. We get our combo points. At this point, we want to evasion. We have 2 DPSs on us. We're 70% HP. At this point, our guy's feared as well, I'm pretty sure. So this guy's feared. So at this point, we want to click evasion. 100%. So evasion. Okay, we vanished. That's fine too. So again, what we could do is we have blind. Again, you want to use blind as the first stun that you do, the first setup that you do, you want to use blind. Use blind off CD, off DR in good positioning times. So at this point, this guy's off DR in 2 seconds. So in 2 seconds, we want to blind the healer. So 1, 2, boom. So now what we could do is we have combo points ready. So run up to this guy, kidney shot, cheap shot the Ret Paladin, cheap shot the Windwalker, go Windwalker, and then off the Kinney 1 second before it ends. Obviously, it's going to be DR'd, but you're going to be able to sap off your own blind. All you need is 1 second worth of your Kinney. This is going to give you automatic 3 or 4. We'll see what happens here. Okay, so um, it looks like we're 1700, which honestly isn't too bad. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully this helped you out. Again, we just need to work on our blinds, our disarms, our evasions, just using our CDs and CCing. Remember, you're a CC bot. You're not a damage bot. So without CC, you're not going to be able to win games. So again, just kidney shot the healer, blind the healer, sap the healer, always blind in the very opener. Just do exactly what I just said and just watch the video again. And I'm telling you, you'll win games. That's because you could have easily went 6-0. I guarantee you would have 6-0 this lobby if you just went the right people. If there's a Ret Paladin like this, go Ret. If there's a caster with a DPS, go caster. Always going the easier target to kill is not always the best for you. Because eventually you're not going to be able to Shadow Idol kill him. After you get past 1800, people start using their cooldowns. You won't be able to win like that. So you can't rely off your Shadow Idol one shot. You have to rely off playing good in general. But hopefully this video did help you out. And if you did enjoy this and you want to see another video like this, like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.